This is Steve Terrelmus again, welcoming you back to another Expium expedited explanations in the Atlassian ecosystem. These are short videos that talk about maximizing the value of Atlassian tools. In this video, we're going to be talking about Atlassian's newest advanced roadmaps that have just come out for the cloud environment. So if you are familiar at all with cloud pricing for Jira, you have probably noticed that there are now multiple levels of cloud pricing. We have free, we have standard, and we have premium. Free is really just for folks that are starting in Jira that really don't need to do a lot of control over it. For most folks, once you're familiar with Jira, you're going to need to move off of free. Standard is what you're probably familiar with currently, and the pricing rate is usually around $7 per user. And then there's premium, which has just recently come out and is going to be offering a lot of exciting and interesting features in the future for premium users. One of the differences that you will see between standard and premium is on roadmaps. So if you'll notice that roadmaps exists for all three versions, free, standard, and premium, but only advanced roadmaps exists for premium. So what is the difference between roadmaps and advanced roadmaps? That's what we're going to talk a little bit about in this video, and I hope it'll be useful to you. If you are considering roadmaps, planning, or any other tool like this that you need in the future, please reach out to us here at expium.com, and we will certainly be able to help you with licensing, consulting, training, configuration, or any other needs you need around planning. Okay, let's jump right into it. So if you've done any kind of planning with Atlassian's tool, you know that it was historically called Portfolio for Jira. Portfolio for Jira did two things. First of all, it allowed managers, product owners, or project managers to plan out activities across agile or non-agile teams. This would be a simple planning process where they can put issues like stories or tasks into a date range and then lay that out into a calendar plan that would show when those things are going to be done. That would be the primary, or what I like to call the more basic functionality around Portfolio. The second functionality is a calculation algorithm. So the calculation algorithm is going to take all of your stories or tasks and the story points that you put in there, as well as the capacity around your teams and several other data elements, and run that through a calculation that is going to calculate for you what your planning period is going to be. This is a very valuable tool because when you are planning work on your own, it's not always easy to understand in your mind all of the details around things like different team dependencies, cross-team dependencies, capacities, and things like that in order to get your plan accurate. If you feed the data in, Portfolio will run the calculation for you and give you a plan that's much closer to the truth. Also, as things change going forward, a new story gets added to your team, somebody goes on vacation, the Portfolio algorithm will account for that and update you on a real-time basis for that work. So, what's happened in the Atlassian world is there is now two versions of Portfolio. There's the version that you are typically used to if you've used Portfolio for Jira at all in the past. This version is going to give you a scope view here at the top, and then a scope with dates, and then down at the bottom, it is going to give you a number of issues that are related to the work you're doing, and then of course you can toggle it around in the different hierarchies. Here at Expium, we have a number of educational classes around Portfolio for Jira, and we'd be happy to dive into this more detail with you if you need that. That's not really the point of this video. The point of this video is to actually demonstrate for you the difference between these two ways of looking at Portfolio. So this is what we would see kind of as the older version of Portfolio, and some people still prefer this version because it gives them a lot more detail and control around what they want to do. The new version is going to look a little bit different though. It's going to look like this. Okay, so here is the new version for Portfolio. Let me zoom this down, and I do apologize for the quality of this video. I am doing this very quickly just to get this information out to the public as quickly as possible because Atlassian did just turn on this new view for your cloud instance this week. And of course, like everyone else, I am working from home and recording this from home and not in my studio in the office during this coronavirus situation. So I do apologize for the quality. This is what they call the version 3.0 or the new advanced roadmaps. So when Atlassian talks about Portfolio for Jira versus roadmaps versus advanced roadmaps, they're really talking about renaming Portfolio for Jira into roadmaps and then introducing advanced roadmaps, which is this feature here. Advanced roadmaps has a lot of the same features as the regular roadmap does. Of course, you'll notice you have the tiers here, just like in the regular roadmaps, but your hierarchy is actually embedded into the plan here. Now, one of the key values of the new plan is it actually allows you to combine the two most valuable things in Portfolio. If you remember in the beginning, I said Portfolio does two things. It allows a project manager to plan out work, but it also includes an algorithm that allows the project manager to calculate how realistic that work is based on dependencies. This version of Portfolio does both of those very nicely. So as you can see, here is the work that's out there. As a project manager, I can readjust this work. In other words, I can push these issues out or draw them in or move them around based on the estimates of when I think this work is going to be done. I can also expand or collapse the size of the work based on the time that I think it's going to take to finish this. And the parent issue will follow along with it very nicely, adjusting the target start and the target end dates. You can also very quickly and efficiently see the dependencies that are tied to each one of these products. So this particular epic has a dependency on in that it's blocked by another epic. And all of this is brought to the fore a lot better in this version 3.0 of the Portfolio plan. If you want to actually run an auto schedule on the new version, in other words, take your plan as a project manager and run it against the reality of the limitations of the team to see if it actually would work out, you would run this auto schedule, which is kind of like a calculate. And then when you run it, it gives you a preview mode that basically shows you what is within functional scope of your work and what is outside of that work. So these purple items indicate problems that your plan has that you're going to run into. Again, in our classes, in our webinars, we get into a lot more detail in that. And then if you want to accept the changes, you can accept the changes and it will redraw your plan according to reality, or you can cancel it and you can do other adjustments manually and then recalculate it again. Now, one of the things that people are running into, one of the problems they're running into is in how to switch back and forth between these two views. So it is pretty obvious how to change from version 2 to version 3. It's not quite as obvious changing it back to version 2. So let me show you real quick how to do this, just so you guys don't panic if you switch it to version 3 and you don't like it. So here's my version 3. If I go into my gear icon here on the top right, which is where you usually would do configuration for your Portfolio plan, click Configure. And then go ahead down at the bottom to Planning Interface, which is perhaps not the most intuitive of names, and then disable Improved Interface. And when you do that, it will take you back to version 2. Now, you will have to recalculate in version 2 in order for the algorithms to play into effect based on the plan as you laid it out. But now, see, we're back in version 2, and we can drill down into our tasks and things like that. Now, again, to go back to version 3, you would do the same thing. You would go to these 3 dots here, which was what the gear icon was in version 3, and you would click that, and then you would go to Configure, or you would just go to Try the Improved Interface. If I go to Configure, up here at the top, I have Planning Interface again, and when I click on that, I can enable the improved interface. And once I click on that, it will take me back to the new version of Portfolio. Now, there are some features that exist in the new version that do not exist in the old version, and vice versa. So it's not entirely clear how Atlassian is going to play this out in the coming months, whether they're going to start rolling some of those older features into the new version, or if they're still going to kind of create two styles of Portfolio so that you can do things in different things. But those are the main overview differences, and I want to make sure everybody's aware of those because, like I said, just recently in your cloud instances, Atlassian has turned on advanced roadmap planning. Now, I want folks to understand that for right now, everyone has advanced roadmap planning. It doesn't matter if you have standard or premium. Atlassian's doing a free trial for advanced roadmap planning if you have a standard Jira platform. So that way you can see whether or not you might want to keep it and move into advanced, along with the other features that Atlassian's going to introduce with the premium package. Excuse me. So this is going to be available to you right away. So even if you have the standard Jira platform, you will be able to use and play around with advanced roadmaps. Okay, Expium. One more thing quick on Expium before we wrap up here today. Expium has a number of upcoming webinars and events, some of which are going to be related to portfolio. We also do private classes and half-day training classes on portfolio as well if you need help with that. So if you need any kind of information or help, please don't hesitate to contact us. If you don't have portfolio for Jira and you'd like to license that into your platform, certainly reach out to us as well. And that is expium.com. And you can go ahead and click on that. And there's plenty of places there where you can get a hold of us. Okay, so thanks so much for watching this real brief video. Again, I do apologize for the quality. I just wanted to crank this out as quickly as possible so that we could let you guys know about the changes that are happening. And this may be a surprise to you if you already have portfolio on your cloud environment. But thanks for watching today. If you're interested in exploring Jira and its instances further, or if you want to talk to one of our experienced consultants, go to expium.com and let us know. If this video was helpful to you, please hit the like button. And if there is a subject that you'd want to see Expium discuss in a future expedited explanations, let us know in the comments below. Until then, this is Steve Terrelmas again, wishing you success in all your Atlassian adventures.